Representing the 929 DK all day. The creation. How y'all doing today? Yes, excuse me, I was fixing my talisman. Talisman means protection from all evils. You know, have to put on my ties to the land. America is my name. My name, Dr. Americas. I'm here to set you free from infirmities, from the problems in the mind, the false teachings, programming from the programming centers called schools today. We're going to give us some more stuff and do some things. This one is here is called Tablet 8, Life Forms and Time Maths, which is called Earth. Let's start this off and we're going to go through this a little at a time because this is kind of long, okay? So it says, Lo, your planet called Earth is within the 18th galaxy called the Milky Way, which has millions of stars and lights from the planet called Earth. It will take 30,000 years to go from Earth to the Milky Way. So that's 30,000 years. The Milky Way is inside of the universe and is very minute or small. The light from the sun comes to the earth. Light travels from the sun in 4 minutes. So light travels from the sun in 4 minutes. The universe contains 19 galaxies. There are 1 billion other galaxies. The distance in your universe reaches up to 26 billion light years. Your universe is the smallest and innermost of the 7 universes which are part of the Galactical Federation of the 19 galaxies. As the universe increases, the universe gets larger and larger. Your mind cannot comprehend the circumference of the universe. It is unimaginable to you. The words that best describe it is infinity. My child, for a time it was hard for you to understand the very beginning of your existence. It was difficult for you to accept that you were made to evolve from intelligent amoeba and fungi. However, this was your beginning, at the beginning unknown to humans. Thus, as you read the tablets, you should have a great understanding of how you became who and what you are today. The first kinds of life forms on the planet Earth was evolution of the amoeba, the fungi, and the algae that live underwater and evolved into land. Early Earth was composed of gases, ammonia, methane, in addition to water as H2O. The cooling of the Earth and the subsequent falling of the vapor rings allowed the gases to reach the waters upon the Earth. The exposure of the ultraviolet rays from the sun caused these gases to form simple organic molecules. These began to form larger molecules until portions was formed. Protein was formed. It was this formation. It was this formation which ultimately resulted into prototype of the living cell, which occurred 40 and 6 billion years ago. Bear in mind that these chain reactions did not occur by blind chance or by the will, but only by the will of the Most High Anu. The stage after the creation of the first cell in the lab of Shimti, which was located on Lamu, which is Mars. These cells was then placed inside the vacuum deity, which is the dolphin. It was these cells that was transported and transplanted into the seeds of the planet. The transportation involved the development of the first animals 70 and 4 billion years ago. These were the single-celled amigos protozoa. protozoa. The simple list of this group is the amoeba, a small mass of transparent protoplasm which does not even have a definite shape nor a cell wall. The first single-cell amina, the first single-celled animal to originate was the amoeba, which is found in water or moist soil and reproduces asexually. This means that reproduce alone. They do not need a partner. Fungus arose from this single-cell organism and played an important role in nature. They break down the bodies of dead organisms into chemical substance that they can use by other organisms. Fungi live as parasites and produce either sexually or asexually. The simple particles of life is a quark of which atoms are composed. An atom is the smallest unit of element that retains all the element's properties. All things are made of atoms, which are composed of quarks. It is the smallest part of any substance. This is called quantum physics, my child. It's too small to be seen even with the most powerful electron microscope. Yet all that is in parts and is parts of the existence. The average diameter of an atom is approximately 100 millionth of an inch. At the center of an atom is a smaller particle called a quark, the father of energy. There is the nucleus, the dense cluster of proteins and neutrons on the outside of a quark. Together, these protons, or P, which have a positive charge, and neutrons, N, which have no charge, are called nucleons. Outside, spinning around the nucleus in orbits, are electrons, which have a negative charge that makes up what's called the shell of an atom. All atoms vary in the amount of proteins and electrons and neutrons according to the elements to which they belong. In reality, no atom has a definite size and shape or time. However, it gets its form from its surrounding electrons. Atoms are building blocks from which molecules are made. A molecule is the smallest unit of a pure substance that can exist independently and exhibit all of the properties of the substance: carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, and sulfur. These gases contain, these gases form into simple organic molecules, at which time these organic molecules begin to form larger and larger molecules until proteins are formed. Listen, my child, concerning recreation of the planet Earth. It was this formation which ultimately resulted in the prototype of the living organism. The stage after the creation of the first cell involved the development of the first animals, which is called parasites or protozoa, which comes from the Greek protos, meaning the first in time, and zoa, meaning zoea, meaning animals. When reproducing, the protozoa splits into two separate animals of cells. Over a period of 19 million Earth years in time, these animals multiply and diversify and evolved into many types of creatures and animal life forms. The protozoa were originally transported and planted here on the planet Earth by these beings from the Earth the planet Ritz, the Anunnaki called Elohim. And don't forget, my child, the conditions of your planet had to be right. The first atom was made up very simple combinations with each other, but sunlight contains energy. This energy forced the atoms into more complicated combinations into small cells formed. This also happened on many other planets with the same chemical and temperatures. So there is life on many other planets. The key is bacteria. There's intelligent bacteria that helps earthlings digest their food and many other positive things. There are also intelligent bacteria that hurt earthlings. Intelligent bacteria do things such as make you sick and cause disease in humans, animals, and plants. In humans, they cause disease such as syphilis, leprosy, pneumonia, to name a few. Most of these came to the planet from other planets, some of which are in your solar system, and others are so far beyond your knowledge. You shall have knowledge. For in this tablets are facts beyond any doubt. Like many other simple organisms, bacteria can multiply by sexually reproduction or by binary fission. This occurs when the nucleus of one cell divides, forming two new cell daughter cells. The exact same way a hologram can be broken into millions of parts, and each one is the same. So it is with cells. And then, my child, there are others that just live with you, never bothering you at all. The first plant life was simple plants that began as one cell organisms of these classes known today as bacteria and algae. This originated in the water. Yet the structure and the composition enable them to exist in all types of environments and conditions. Algae has bodies composed of a single cell. Algae accounts for 90% of the world's photosynthesis. Bacteria are found everywhere in water and in soil, your bodies, and food. Many of them are helpful and necessary for your physical existence. They are also useful in the decomposition and dissolving of solid waste. Then you have the virus. A virus is a microscopic organism that has a exceedingly simple structure composed of a nucleic acid and protein. In the case of some of the viruses that live in bacteria and animal cells, the nucleic acid is generally DNA. The extraribonucleic acid in the viruses that cause diseases of plants, the nucleic acid is usually RNA or ribonucleic acid. A virus lives in a cell of another living organism. Although viruses are small and simple, they are a major cause of disease. Some viruses infect human beings with diseases. Others infect animals or plants, and still others attack bacteria. Viruses produce diseases in an organism by damaging some of its cells. However, viruses sometimes live in cells without harming them. Most viruses reproduce in specific cells of certain organisms. Viruses are gears, Earth's means of defense when attacked. So that's what's happening with that one, and I'm glad that you stayed with me. We advise you to read 7 times. We advise you to share with your family on your respective festive days, which is the Sabbath day. This we're not this is not a test. This is the real deal. If you're a master teacher, step up. If you're a student, step up. If you are a helper, step up. If you are faithful, step up. If you're imam, a reverend, minister, if you are atheist, step up and do good deeds. If you took an oath, step up and be who you say you want to be. If the oath is not to your liking, and then you can get out, explain to your brethren, your sisters, your sorority, your fraternity, that you have found something that makes you more meaningful. Don't be abusive. You may be able to help them. It's like when someone help you, they pull you up, you get up, you pull them up. That's how you go. I've been leading from the back for so long. Now it's time to take my rightful place in my rightful persona. This is my land. And if that's the way it has to be, if you don't want to understand it, and those that appreciate and respect me, and you don't respect me because you got an attitude that you black and all this, I can't help you, my bro. You know, because the word bro is from the word brothel. Okay, it's really supposed to be the breath within. The breath within got into brothel or brother. Okay, so what we got to do, we got to just come on one accord, and I'll be reading to you. I am Skate Master Spark, I-9 gave with 19, Dr. Melkis, Haley Selassie. And the word Haley, the word Ali is the same. The word El, Elo, Ali, Elo, Elohim. Now we have the Elohim. The Elohim first will be last, and the last will be fierce to protect the origin. Okay, so there's things that need to be rectified. It's laws that need to be revised. It's laws that need to be taken off the book. This is not the time to lack and slack. All those that took the lead and ran and passed the baton, congratulations. Thank you very much. Those who stopped, it's okay. Just get your ass at the end of the line and learn the new what we do. Anyway, I'm out of here. You are love. You don't need no love. You got so much love. You got so much love in you. When you start crying, you start laughing. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you're gonna see yourself. And yeah, the family, they came down into the believers. I was there, you was there. Okay? This is what happened. It's just the extra. After the 25, 24, we can go to the extra stuff. This is what happened. We can go from the teddy bear that was placed in everybody's house to the bear, the symbol of the bear, which was Roosevelt, and his teachings, his programming to go against the anointed, just like everybody else, just like Constantine, that made a law to be Christian after he introduced the heathen practices in it. Before it was an underground movement, then he got into power, he made a law. Okay. So with that law, he tried to practice it with the heathen. The heathen was the mercy, the yielding and the mercy. Not right and exact, but your intentions. What's your intentions? And that's how we live today. What is your intention? So as we start to move and groove and do what we do, right? For you, it must be you can't be me. You know, even if you got my DNA, you're not gonna be me. Forget about it. Because to be me, you have to go through what I went through. You have to go through what you're going through, right? And then we're going to change it so we can all go through the same thing. That's the key. And to start that, we got to start doing the same thing. So even if I'm not there, get your butt on the skates, start skating. And when you start skating, then you're going to be like, "Damn, this is what he's talking about." It was something that couldn't be explained only by those who was given the privilege to explain to those who was getting the privilege to get it. And those who got it and used it, and other people was looking at them and they don't know what it is, they happy to have it and they performing, that means they got touched. So now let me explain to you what the skating is. Let me explain to you what we do and how we used it when we came into the planet Earth. All this stuff have to be told. Those people that was locked in and had the title TITLE, which is elite, ELITE, over you. It's like after you get we say beneath the sun, like you going out. It's not even like that. It's out, but you have to go out from inside. You got to go in, and then you go through the system. Which is it? You got you got an umbilical cord. That's cut. Then you got to eat the cord. That's not cut. That's not. When you go to the ground, when you limp, and that pulse is the breath of life. That breathing, that's the same thing we saying when we say Allah, Allah, Allah. We saying all life, all and la, nothing but that. So we breathe in life, and and the life that we breathe, we are so special that our excess that we breathe kicks off for the plants that feed us their vibrations. Everything's about vibration, sound, rhythm, music. So big shout out to all the ministering angels that's articulating, all those that's listening to the sound, that's putting that sound, all those that's giving the directive, and all those who producing the music, creating the movement, that created the movement and continue to maintain it and drive it to where it need to go on their vision. That's the only thing I wasn't. It wasn't the only thing I wasn't able to do, which I did, was interfere with humans. I didn't do that. There was people that was born the same time I was born, and they got different talents. Everybody is special. Nobody's the same. And everybody, if they pay attention, with respect to inspect, to have faith to apply, that's what's needed. And what's needed, the need is dean. And dean, like you have a dean in the school, you got the principal, right? Is the principal representation of the system of teaching and schooling. And the schooling that they teaching was the last stronghold of the property that they thought we was for them. Not knowing that when you put the trap out for somebody else, you're going to fall on that trap. So as they thought we were slaves on our own land, that's really, why would somebody think that? Because of the conditions that we go through, because we know that we're here for a reason to do certain things and to share and to help others that's being taught wrong, that's being programmed wrong, that's judgmental, that don't, that first of all wasn't even their job to take care of us. Our job was to take care of them. So the less that they listen, instead of what they do, they data mine. They want to hear what we gotta say. That's definitely. See, And the whole thing is that they got the system. When we say they, don't get it wrong. Because this broadcast here is the Son. I am the Son. In the flesh, the breath of life. That's how you got to think. You got to take what's good for you and use it. Okay. When you use it, use that platform. Use that. The body's a vehicle. Okay. And the public teachings, the general teachings is for the cadets. When they provide the service as they harvest in the sun, and they putting in the mathematics towards the expansion of our development and creating. We are scientists and more than that. We are alchemists and more than that. We are the healers of the globe. We are the high priestess. We are the angelic realm. We are that which people don't even know who they are. That's the whole thing y'all forgot. Let's say, remember the times. See? And it took the entertainers to explain. It gave you an example of what happened, a small narrative of how people went and changed what they would call Egypt. The name wasn't Egypt. So anytime they change the name, they change the game. They change the game, they change the narrative what's supposed to do. But you got different people running it. Just like this hip hop, right? I don't really do hip hop because when I was trying to get hip hop in, they didn't want my hip hop. So what we had this bow out, okay, because it wasn't going nowhere because we put the plan in. We put the plan in. We put the players, the movers, the shakers. They did what they did. Big congratulations to everybody. Everybody know what they did. It had to be all over again because I'm not living there. But we just say congratulations for everybody that did what they had to do. Everybody that got the bag, took the bag. People what they did, what you had to do. There was no plan. It was a plan with survival. So every woman, every man, everybody surviving. And then when the plan come, the plan was Jesus. So we said we're gonna use that because that right there is the plan. Period. So they said, well, other people said, well, they're gonna use Jesus' plan. Well, we're gonna sabotage the Jesus plan. I said, what are you gonna sabotage? How you gonna sabotage Jesus' plan? Well, we're gonna sabotage Jesus' plan. How? What we gonna do? We're gonna tell you it ain't true. But when I tell you 39 countries testify my love, I'm the spiritual gangster, and we done overcome. We was never lost. So all that being lost, that was for your narrative. That's get your ass up and do what you need to do. But while y'all was lost, we was watching y'all act the damn fool, trying to be a rock star. So anybody that know me, seen me, the shit that y'all did, that wasn't the way to go. So now you're having in your duplications that you wrongly call children. It's not your children. That's your duplications. And they're going in a circle. And they're going to go in a circle until they go into the six. And then when they go to the six, that's the Y. When they go to the six and the Y, that's the 9. And if you spell 9, N-I-N-E, which is E-N-N-I-N, N to N, is that cipher. You see, but it's going symmetry because you don't did. It's not 360, it's 361. They didn't tell you about the one. The one is a hood. The one is a hood for one. The one is unified. It's love, unity. It's everything. It's the all. It's like it's all of that. So anyway, that's what we're talking about. I just read from the Holy Tablets. That's what I'll be reading from. I am what I say I am.